What I recommend is going to find a place that's wide open, lots of room to fly a drone. You want to take off from a nice flat spot, go through the same procedures that we talked about before. Go ahead and turn the controller on, the drone on. If you haven't calibrated the compass in a while, maybe calibrate the compass and you just follow the instructions on the screen. But then from there, you should be ready to fly. I like to wait a few minutes to allow at least 10 satellites to get picked up, and that way you know that it's GPS locked and it should be a stable connection. If you take off before that, it may say no GPS warning or something like that. And that means you're gonna be flying more or less a little manually, where you're just gonna have to keep a little bit more control of it. So I would definitely recommend letting the GPSs connect, let the whole thing warm up, and everything is running good. All right, so once you're ready to take off, there's two ways that you can do it. You can go ahead and push the takeoff button on the screen, and that's super easy. You just go ahead and hit the button once and it'll give you some instructions, and then you hold that button down in the middle and it'll go ahead and take off for you. And then it'll just hover. Or you can use the joystick method and you can point both the joysticks down and towards the middle, kind of diagonal, and that will start the motors. It won't take off yet. It'll just be laying on the ground, but motors are gonna be spinning. And then you're gonna use the left joystick to go up, and that'll raise the drone up right off the ground. Once you're off the ground, with the GPS lock on, you can totally let go of the controls and it'll just hover there. So you don't need to constantly be on the sticks or managing it like that with maybe some other drones. So from there, I would recommend just getting a little more comfortable with it. Maybe go up a little bit higher. Again, using the left joystick. If you're using mode 2, use the left joystick and push it upwards and figure out how fast and slow it descends. And that'll give you a feel for how the drone reacts. Sticking on the left joystick, if you go down, if you go down with the joystick, that is going to lower the drone's altitude. And then if you go right or left, that is going to physically spin the drone in place. Now moving over to the right joystick, if you go forward, that is going to take you forward. If you go backwards, that's going to take you backwards. And then if you go right or left, that is going to move the drone physically to the right and to the left on that axis. So that's the basic controls of the two joysticks. And I've got a whole other video on drone movements that I'll link somewhere here. And that goes over mixing some of these basic movements. And that's really the rule of thumb that I like to follow, is I like to keep my drone moves pretty simple. And that way they're timeless and they're always going to be good looking. So, but you still want to practice just how the joysticks move, how the drone responds, and start mixing some of those moves around and see how the drone reacts. So now that you're off the ground, you've learned some moves, you're ready to bring it home. Now you can manually go ahead and bring the drone home using the joystick controls, bring it down right in front of you, and then hold the left joystick down when it gets close to the ground, and that'll put it into landing mode. Or you can go ahead and push the return to home button, and that'll enter the go to home sequence. And on the Mini 4, you should see an augmented reality map of where the drone is actually going, the trajectory, and everything like that. And it's pretty cool. All right, so now you've got your first flight under your belt, and hopefully it was a fun one. So if you want more in-depth videos, let me know in the comments. I'd love to make more stuff like this and share whatever I can with you guys to help you in your photo, video, and drone journey. But with that said, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything, if you found any bit of this valuable, please leave this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Until next time, I will see you in another video.